Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies. This week on the podcast, we are going to be raging about some of our favorite things to rage about, but mostly we're going to be raging about what?
We're raging about the fact that all the major releases are coming out at the same time. Here in Canada, at least, we got Bill and Ted Face the Music, we got Tenet, and we got the New Mutants. That is a crowded opening weekend for what reason, I'm not sure. Why wouldn't we just release one of these major releases, let them, make a little money, and then the following week we can start adding to the, because now we got, 3 weeks where there's basically nothing coming out.
Yeah, probably crap.
Yeah.
But we only saw, 4 movies this weekend?
Yep.
4.
Yeah.
So we saw 4 movies, and we've been the week before we saw 1.
Yeah.
So they decided the theaters would release 4, well, not all of them were big budget, but 3 were pretty big budget films, all in one weekend.
Yeah.
So ultimately, the reason we're really raging about this is because it's really impacting us.
Well, to be honest, I'm raging about it because I do not understand why the studios are button heads right now. I understand competition. I understand that everybody wants to put the other guy out of business and they want to rule. It's not the time for it right now. We're in the midst of this COVID-19 thing. We're getting movies trickled out here and there. There's no reason why 3 studios are competing against each other on the same weekend. It makes no sense right now.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Year from now, if things get to some semblance of normalcy, right on. Right now, makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on this rage. I think people want to see a movie every weekend and a major release every weekend, not just some of the drips and drabs that we've been getting, which for us it's not a big deal because we don't mind seeing those independent films. But we want to, if the big budgets are going to all put out everything on one weekend, it's basically going to be, you're going to lose out. Someone's going to lose out,
Yeah.
and it's not a good thing for anybody, not just for the fact that, we want to be able to see something good every weekend. But
we're in a different time, but opening weekend still can kind of make or break a film. And if they're competing against each other right now, I'm not sure it's doing anybody any good.
the thing that's even more angering than that is when they bring out a sequel.
Oh God!
As much as we're raging about big box office releasing everything on one weekend, let's also talk about what I find more rageful. As much as I love raging about what you're talking about, my rage is a little bit more passionate this week because I think we need to stop making sequels.
John Wick 2, John Wick 3
were great, but that's it.
Bill and Ted Face the Music
Was not great.
No, it was not.
And they didn't need to make it. So
I think they needed to make it. They just needed a better script.
why do they need to make sequels? I don't get it. What is the reason for a sequel?
Because it's been, 20-some
Because
odd years
people-
and I wanted to get some Bill
Because
and
people
Ted.
are like, oh, I missed that story. Can I watch the same story again, but with a little bit of a different take? But it's ultimately the same, but it's not really. It's kind of the same, but it's really not. Has the same characters because we're so in love with Bill and Ted that we decide,
Yeah.
let's keep watching it
Yeah.
over and over. Why don't we just
Let's do that.
Why don't we just watch the first 2 movies again and go,
I-
that was okay?
Absolutely.
Or just watch the
Let's
first
watch the
one.
first 2 movies
Let's
again
just watch the
and then watch
first
the new one.
and not necessarily have to watch even the second one. My rage this week, and which you will all get to fully enjoy.
I really like John Wick 2 and John Wick 3, so I don't know why
do
you're
too.
raging.
But I pose to you, John Wick 1, 2, and 3 is all one movie. It's all one night, except for when he goes over
It's
to
not all one movie.
Egypt.
I
But
remember
that's-
buying 3 separate tickets for those.
Yeah, but you could have seen it all in one night, because John Wick and his dog potentially could have been all in one night.
I know not of what he speaks.
Well, what we do need to know is that listen to us on our podcast and check us out at filmrageyyc.com and stream us everywhere. Rage on.
Rage on!